Alrighty, this video is all about coming back into your workout routine after you've been sick. There's nothing worse than like cruising along and then you get knocked out. So it happens to even the best of us, even the most hygienic, vitamin on top of, rest on top of, hand washing, obsessive that so it happens, we get sick, but there is a way to work smarter, not harder coming back, because the last thing you want is to start a crazy cycle where you get better and then you get sick again, you get better and you get sick again. We get sick again because our immune system hasn't fully rebuilt up. Even though we're feeling better, we're not necessarily ready to pick up everything where we left off. And that is really hard to practice restraint. I know, especially when you're really excited or things are going really well and you're feeling good. So let's go. No, we're not. We're going to walk before we run. So let's talk about ways that looks like, or ways you can see that and practice this with your fitness routine. So it's all going to kind of depend too on how long you were sick for, right? And if it was like real sick or just like I was not myself. Okay, so let's go on the light side of sickness. Like you're gone 1 to 3 days, even if that was a bad 1 to 3 days, like stomach bug, you still don't want to come back just like nothing happened, okay? We want to work our way back into it, let our bodies still recover and build. We don't want to do more muscular damage, give our bodies more stuff to fix while it's still getting better, right? You're not instantly better the moment you feel better, right? So what I would recommend is if you were down and out for 1 to 3 days, coming back at no more than 70% of where you were before you went down. Okay, so what does that look like? Well, that's kind of 70%. That's somewhere in between 2/3 and 3/4. Yes, and again, ballpark. Listen to your body here. So if you have 3 sets of an exercise, that means you do 2. If you had 4 sets of an exercise, I would shoot for 3. But that may be too much. Maybe 2.5, or do 3, but make that first set body weight only or super light warm up kind of thing, just so you are still getting some reps, you're getting that longer warm up, and then just 2 sets of like good solid work. Now, as far as you pick up the weight you had before, I usually try to say yes, especially if it was only 1 to 3 days, which I know I'm sure felt like an eternity if you were hugging a toilet bowl, but start there, because so many times we shortchange ourselves there and we don't always have the whole gamut of weights at home. If you have a small step down, like a 15 to a 12, that would probably be totally fine. But if you have like a 15 to a 10, that may be too much with this time window, the 1 to 3 time window. Longer, I've got something to say about that. But for the most part, especially if it's 1 or 2 sets, I think you'd probably be okay trying to start with that same weight. Now, if you get towards the end and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is making me feel worse, then stop. You can shave off reps at the end or drop down in weight, even if it's a big chunk of weight, okay? Maybe your body was hurting more than you thought, or maybe you're starting earlier than you think too. So definitely listen to your body. Again, we're not trying to do more harm than good. Think this is not about making progress. This is about a step back in. So say you fell into the river, you don't just like get up and start running unless there's like zombies chasing you. You would get up, stand up, walk a few steps, and then run, okay? So this is the stand up. This is the walk. So you get 1 stand-up exercise, 1 workout, and then 1 walk workout. So 2 workouts after you come back are still building back up. So that's where give yourself room to even build up again. Does that make sense? You give yourself two get back into it workouts, as long as you're feeling good. You do have to pay really close attention to, do I feel more tired? Do I feel achy? Are my symptoms coming back? If you feel any symptoms coming back, back off even more. Follow my protocol, if you will, for the longer absence, okay? There's no reason to push this. Your body needs, you're not gaining anything if you just keep getting sick, right? I mean, look at it that way. So keep hydrating, keep taking vitamins, wash your hands, and get rest, because rest is usually how our body heals the best anyways. So working out, coming back too soon, obviously should be symptom-free, I would say, for 24 hours. Probably should have led with that, but just like the school rule. So that's my goal with that. If you've only been down for 1 to 3 days and symptom-free for 24 hours, you can go up to 70% coming back. This is not the time to go pedal to the metal, pick up where you left off like nothing happened. You are not a robot. I know you're a super mom, but you still have a body that needs healing. Let yourself heal. You're not going to slide backwards. Just pick up, stand up, walk, and then go back to it. So now let's talk about if this was a longer, more uncomfortable, disruptive ordeal. We're talking like 4 to 7 days. God forbid you were sick for longer than that, but it happens too. So say it's like 4 to 7 days where since your last workout, and then again, you need to be 24 hours symptom free before you can start even this. I'm honestly going to recommend, and don't let this scare you, 50%. whatever your workout was supposed to be or whatever it was before, 50% is where you should start at least that first workout back. We definitely do not want to trip any tailspins. You know, we don't want to go back. This is all about just moving your body, right? This is developing the habits and the consistency. We don't need to always tear our bodies down. So 50%. So obviously if that was 4 sets, really easy, you do 2. The little math gets a little fuzzy. If it was 3 sets, what you can do there is you can do 1 set and then maybe do half the exercises, do a second set, or you could do all the exercises a half set. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. That's always another option too, is just cutting the work off out in half. Say there's 2 blocks, you could always just do 1 block. There's nothing wrong with that. You can always just warm up and cool right back down. That's 50% right there. So play with that, see how you feel. Again, this is not the time to leave yourself exhausted. If any of your symptoms start coming back, that's a sign you're doing too much too soon. You need to take an extra day of rest and then try again at 50%. Same rules would apply with the weights, although I'm going to say for me and my experience, and anytime this has happened with clients, typically I don't have people down for that long where they're not doing anything, but picking up the same weight is really, it's like, I used to pick this up. Yeah, it's hard. You haven't lost strength. Like, don't think in terms of like, oh my gosh, I've gone backwards. I've lost so much strength. No, it's just harder because you haven't picked up anything heavy or anything like that, right? It's like the 10 pounds feels heavy when that's all you hold. And then as soon as you hold a 20 pounds, you pick up the 10 pounds. It's like, oh, whoa, this used to be hard. It's the same thing. It's just, you know, in that ad where it was like a jumbo Cheerio with like a Fruit Loop. And it was like, oh, well, these look small, but only compared to like the giant one. They're really the same size, right? So the weight didn't change. You just haven't picked up anything similar lately. Whereas before you were doing it more regularly. So don't get in your head about this. You're not screwing yourself up. You're not never going to get back. You will get back. It's okay to scale it down if you've been gone for more than 4 days. In fact, you must. You must. I would definitely recommend stepping down the weight. I mean, make it as small a step as possible. Yes, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Scaling back a little bit doesn't mean you have to scale your weight back 50%. We're just trying to scale back what we're doing and how long it takes so our body gets enough rest. That's the name of the game. Work yourself back up to it. You know, even though if you get down, you get taken down in a hurry, right? You still want to step your way back up. You don't get back onto it in a hurry. You can, but I guarantee you that's not going to work the best long term. I definitely do take a more, I'm saying absolutely and promising and definitely, those are not usually my normal words, but it's just happened a lot. And so I can tell you from all the times we've done this, you know, anytime I see people, they get on the 6th cycle, they're coming right back to it. And I love the motivation. I love the drive and the intensity and just the fighting spirit. That is so important. That is why you are a super mom. But your body is not a robot, and we really need to honor it. We need to give it the space to heal, give ourselves the chance to work back up to it. That's just how it goes. That's just the appropriate way to come back. I know you might have dropped everything in the second you got sick, as you should, but don't just expect to climb out of it with a steep climb as well. It's okay to take it gradually. I highly recommend it. It's going to keep you from getting sick again. Keep your body functioning and healing. Placeholder workouts, if you want to think of it like that. It's really just going through the motions. Which, if it's your everyday thing, no, you can't just go through the motions, right? This isn't your everyday thing, right? This isn't the everyday. This isn't the everyday. So it's not the everyday. So it's not what you do. You're just going through the motions to get yourself back into it. Test the waters, make sure it's okay, and then we'll proceed. Okay. So I would take a couple workouts there at 50%. And then another workout, try up to 70%, maybe even 2 more. I would say plan on 3 to 4 workouts. So that could be a week, even maybe a little bit more just to come back. I'm not sure that I would say equal time down, equal time back, but maybe something around that ballpark actually, now that I think about it in those terms. Just because, yeah, your body went through a lot and moms don't really ever get full days off, I don't think. So you really didn't get to rest. So take the rest you need. Still show up, still do something, even if it's just your warm up and cool down and maybe even 1 set or 1 circuit. That can still fall into the 50% and gradually add in a little bit more. If you've got questions, let me know, but I'm glad you're feeling better.